Welcome in. It's time once again for the Behind the Bench Coaches Show, and we are ready to go for another season of River Dragons hockey. In fact, we've already started another season of River Dragons hockey, joined as always here by head coach Jerome Bechard, and this week's player guest is Austin Daae. And so, well, boom, I'll start with you. Welcome back for another season.
Thank you. First of all, we got 2 Saskatchewanites here. And that's,
nice.
That's the most important thing.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. No, it's it's good to be back. Good to be back on the radio. Get back in the swing of things every Tuesday. So
that's right. 5th anniversary season of River Dragons hockey. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, not me.
Did I just steal that one from you? I'm sorry.
I would have. No, you know what? It's been good 5 years, obviously, with the longevity of hockey and me being here, or whatever. But it seemed to catch a second wind here with the River Dragons, and I mean, I think Jeff has done a pretty good job, office staff and the players itself. Just from when I've been here, yes, we still have some of the same fans, but over the last few years, we've really rejuvenated that fan base, and we got a bunch of different folks out there. So we've done our job.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's that generational flip, right? Those kids who were fans when you were playing are now growing up with their own kids.
Quite a bit. Oh, yeah, I used to watch. I'm like, don't tell me that.
Those, have you had anybody come up to you and tell you, hey, I remember watching you when I was just starting out? I don't think you've been around that long.
No, not here. At home a little bit.
Really?
A few times, yeah. Like I'd skate with the junior team before I came back down here, and you run into some people that are a little bit older now, and I skated with a couple kids that were young when I was playing my 20-year-old year in Estevan. So,
which is kind of a big thing, because I mean, I played my minor hockey in Weyburn, right? And we were 45 minutes away and this and that. So, but it was a big thing to watch the Weyburn Red Wings play, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Schneider. Oh God, you get all excited and all that stuff, and it's exciting for the hometown kids to actually see guys that played there before. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Look at that. So there you go. Is there an Austin Daae night in the future coming up here? I don't know. In Estevan?
Maybe next year I'll drop a puck or something if I'm lucky.
There you go. That's like the hockey equivalent of throwing out the first pitch, right? You get invited to drop the puck. Nice, absolutely. So, well, Doe's, glad to have you back. Man, I want to talk about your off season a little bit here too, and of course, boom, we'll talk about yours. But last year things ended a little disappointing with the playoff loss to Carolina. Take us through kind of that that period after, when you're decompressing, you're thinking about the next season. What was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, obviously right away it's tough. It's you stick around for a few days and it really doesn't really leave your mind, until once you get out of town and get down the road and think about it a little bit. But once you're home, it's always nice to get home, and it's kind of it's a big reset button for everyone once you get home, and, just a totally different change of pace. Obviously everyone does different things and whatnot when they're back, but I definitely take a pretty big break from hockey. The first couple months I'm back, I don't skate until about August, July sometimes. So just nice to get in a different kind of swing.
Do you play any other sports in the summer to kind of get away from hockey? What do you like to do?
Yeah, I golf as much as I can, and I work for my dad's company when I'm home. So he's been really busy the last couple of years. So I'm at his beck and call whenever that seems to be, which is a lot. But yeah, I get to get out in the golf course, and then obviously I do my racing stuff in the summer, so that keeps me pretty busy too.
Okay, what racing stuff?
Well, I do dirt track racing in the summer. I'm in North Dakota a lot of weekends. We got our local track in Estevan, and then I made it down to Iowa at the end of the year for a big show that we traveled for. I didn't race as much as I wanted to. Probably got 21 nights in, so it wasn't too bad. But we'll try get some more in next year.
How many times did you make some money?
Well, if you're finishing in the top 3-4 nightly, you're making more than what you're probably spending. But I had 5 wins this year, so it was pretty good. And
yeah,
I was in the top 3-4 most nights, other than a few DNFs, a couple motor issues throughout the summer. But we got it figured out.
Who's the mechanic? You or your dad?
Me, both. Yeah, we do everything.
mechanical error when a couple of engine problems?
Not us. No, that's the one thing. We do everything except for the internal stuff on the motor. That's the one thing. I still got no idea.
Right.
Yeah, I leave that stuff alone.
So 2-wheel or 4-wheel?
4-wheel car.
4-wheel. Oh, so you're doing
car.
sprint car or
no?
like
It's a
Outlaws.
We're called it's a stock car, but nothing stock about a stock car. But,
right.
Yeah, it's a full fendered body, but our cars, they got we got full weight jacks all the way around, and they carry a lot of attitude and pick up the left front tire if there's some grip out there. So a lot of traction, a lot of power. So it's a lot of fun.
That is pretty cool. But my dad was big into racing for years, and so when I was born, I got into it with him. We used to go watch, the modifieds and super modifieds and drags and the quarter mile and eighth mile dirt tracks, and those are always fun. So
yeah.
It's always fun to watch. So that's kind of what you're doing is the circle track stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the dirt track stuff. I actually made it. We got back here Sunday morning, and me and Petra, we went to the East Alabama on Sunday, and they had there's like 49,000 to win super late model race here. So actually they flew it.
So you were all dusty on Sunday?
Yeah, a little
Jesus
bit of
Christ,
dust.
Pure red clay.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that dusty actually. It was pretty clean, but Petro, there's a lot of explaining for Petro. That's for sure.
All right. So if you're the hockey fan out there and you take the newbie to the game, that must have been exactly what you were going through with Petro.
Oh yeah. All the rules, all the different cars and why they're different, and just how everything works. And yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You probably a lot of our fans just learned something about you. They had no idea.
Yeah, probably. I think a chunk of them probably have known it usually gets out there. And when I run into people at the rink or whatever, they ask how racing went, and some of them go watch too here at the track and whatnot. So I think a few know out there.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. How'd you get into that in the first place?
Went watching growing up. Dad helped out and sponsored a guy. He was always in the pits helping, and was very observant, watching all the time. And we can start when we're 14. So I said to my dad I wanted to get into it and try it, and here we are 13 to 14 years down the road still doing it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work and time and whatnot, but it seems to be worth it, I guess.
Yeah. So did you start with karting and work your way up? Or
no, you get into, it's still a full-size car. Just,
Okay.
a lot, not as much suspension and not as much power, just kind of get the feel for things. And then I've moved up into one of the upper classes, in our kind of region and whatnot, and it's a good class, so I've just kind of stayed in it and been pretty successful ever since I got into it. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
We'll have to see a River Dragons car running out there sometime. There you go.
That'd be nice.
We'll talk to Jeff Krupp about that one.
Need to reach out and see if anybody needs a driver every now and then.
Yeah.
There you go. He'll get you where you're going.
Someone's got to have a spare car kicking around.
There you go. Absolutely. That's pretty neat. That's a cool thing to know. So we're chatting with Austin Daae, River Dragons forward, and River Dragons head coach Jerome Bechard. And Boom, I want to ask you about your off season. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we grab our first break of the show, and we will talk a little bit about the off season, about putting this team together. River Dragons have started the year 3-0. We're going to talk about that as well, and then just kind of take it from there. Want to remind everybody, single game seats are going on sale coming up on November 6th, and that's going to be at 10 a.m. And also, full season tickets still on sale now. Go to rdragons.com. Back with more in a moment. It's the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Welcome back on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Tom Callahan here, joined by River Dragons head coach Jerome Bechard and this week's player guest, Austin Daae. Boom, wanted to ask you about your off season and how things went for you. And how do you spend the summer? That's we haven't talked about that.
Oh,
what do you do?
Pretty low key.
Besides sell houses.
Yeah, I'm still working quite a bit. We went home to Canada, to Saskatchewan, as a family, which all four of us haven't done that all together, probably in about 6 or 7 years. So it was pretty cool to have the girls with us and all that stuff. So we went home for about 7-8 days, and then through all that, my oldest daughter got engaged.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So between getting told to put down payments and this and that to
got to get the venue now.
Yeah.
Got to get the venue.
Do all that. So that was good, and then really just not a whole lot.
That's still pretty eventful.
Yard work around the house. That's it. Pretty low key.
Man, and then obviously for those who may not know, and I always like to kind of reset our story a little bit, but you're a real estate agent in town as well.
Yeah, no, that keeps me pretty busy. Like, I mean, right now I'm hockey starts up, and I've got I got 3 closings this week, and it's not, so that kind of gets a little hairy. But again, got a really good support staff on both sides of the at both offices where I go. So the real estate folks, I got some really good support over there where I can ask for help anytime. And then obviously at the rink, if I need something, between Dozer, Petro, Jay, they can run practice if I need be or whatever. Every now and then I'll call in the old guy or in her got to come in and run practice, just somebody totally different that nobody really, well, the boys, a few of the guys know him, but it's always nice to have just somebody different, so
I run into Oren here and there around town, and it's always fun.
He's worse. He is worse than me. Every time I look on Facebook, he's asking if anybody saw his teeth. Like, I mean, I lose my teeth frequently, but I mean, he's terrible. Like, I mean, he just found him the other day in his truck. Anyways,
I love it.
It's pretty funny.
The last time I saw him, he was getting gas, and he did not have his teeth in.
He never has his teeth in.
So it must have been one of those times.
And then I'm like, well, first of all, how do you lose them when you never have them in?
Right.
So, but it was about, I think 2 weeks ago, he posted on Facebook, hey, if anybody's in the ice rink, keep an eye on my 3 teeth.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyways, pretty funny.
That is funny, actually. Let's talk a little bit about. Oh, you know what? Actually, I wanted to get into this a moment here, and we're going to talk about Daae and his honor of hitting 300 points. But you had a night, and we were there in Birmingham.
Yeah.
You had your banner raised, your number retired. You are the first player. This was surprising to me in Birmingham Bulls history to have your number retired.
You know what? That is kind of crazy since, they've been there like with the baby.
Since the WHA.
The baby Bulls and all that stuff. And I'm, obviously honored, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been some players in the past, I was the second generation of those guys kind of thing, but the Phil Robertos and DeBrano and there's a bunch of guys that are still there from the old group that have had a big impact on hockey in Birmingham. So, I mean, pretty cool. But at the same time, kind of lucky. I mean, I just go out, work hard, do my job, and enjoy what I do. Happen to enjoy to fight, and fans like that and whatever. So, anyways, it was a pretty cool night. At first, I really didn't know they were going to do my jersey, retire the jersey. I guess they'd reached out and said, hey, we're going to do a bobblehead for you or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll be there and all that stuff. And so, yeah, it was pretty nice. Nice honor.
It was packed.
And then
also,
I didn't then the guys, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm fairly nonchalant about things as well too. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I really wasn't worried about anybody but myself getting there or whatever. And I told all the guys, I'm like, hey, I got to buzz out, whatever, I got this thing or whatever. And then all of a sudden they all show up. And I'm in charge of the bus, and I knew, I talked to Milton, my mechanic. I know it wasn't quite ready to go on the road, but all of a sudden the bus is on the road. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, you guys, I mean, and all of a sudden Milton's on the trip too. So it was pretty funny. So
yeah, Daae, how long in advance did you guys know you were going?
About a week, 5, 6, 7 days.
And you kept it the whole time.
Oh yeah. We
wow. That's impressive.
It was Friday? I think we had a meeting about it Monday. I think some of us knew before then even, but yeah, we had a plan. It was just once we knew Boomer was on the road, it was get to the rink and take off too. So yeah, it was pretty fun to be there for him.
I knew that was the other thing because once we knew in the office, obviously we were keeping it quiet too, but everybody was like, we can't leave till Boomer leaves. And we're like, Boom, get out of here. Get out of here. We got to go. Let's go. Boomer, get out. Gets out of the office. And then, I mean, when you left and we knew you were gone, that was pretty funny. But yeah, I can't believe you guys kept it that whole week. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And yeah, anyways, I should have put a couple things together, I guess, because my wife was asking me when I was leaving, like 3 or 4 times, like when we're leaving. I'm like, I've already told you. Like, I mean, whatever, we can leave at 4, you know, or whatever, and all that stuff. So, anyways, it was good. It was awesome. It was an honor, and it's good to see a bunch of people in Birmingham that I hadn't seen before. And I mean, you know, it seemed to work. It was packed there. It's a nice building to. Unfortunately, they lost. But it was good.
They and it is a nice little building. I really enjoyed, you know, seeing a game there and watching that. But I was going to ask you if you got a chance to run into anybody or connect with anybody maybe you hadn't seen in a while.
You know, a couple of guys I played with. Ian Hebert still lives there. Craig Lutz. Drevs, I don't know if Greg Demery was there or not. He coaches University of Alabama right now, their club team. Yeah, and then some of the older guys. I mean, it's kind of funny because back we played down at BJCC downtown, and then heck, where was their practice rink? The practice rink was just a little old dump, Alpine Arena, and it was cold and it was miserable. And Hap and Dinger, they ran it. Dinger was an older guy, and I ran into Hap there the other night. But Dinger's he was probably about 69 or 70 at that point, and he's still dinging it. But you know, the rink was there, and then there was this little hole in the wall bar, so it was practice right to the watering hole. Practice right to the watering hole. It was pretty funny. It was good.
Your days were full.
Yeah. So, yeah, I saw a couple of the older guys that were there, like the WHA guys were there. Phil wasn't able to make it. He had his grandsons were playing high school football, and they're pretty good football players. I want to think they'll probably go somewhere.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was good. Rana came. Rana's not a big hockey wife anymore. I don't know if she was ever. She's seen enough hockey in her lifetime, I guess, when it comes down to it. But it was nice that she came, and you know, I wanted her to come out on the ice with me. She's like, absolutely not. And then it kind of funny because I mean, I drove, and as soon as we got there, she's like, you know, how long do I have to stay? You know, can I leave? I'm like, you can leave if you want to go. I guess I got a ride home with the bus, so it was pretty funny. So, anyways, turned out pretty good.
But they're being supportive.
Yeah,
you know, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then Doz, I want to ask you about 300 points in the FPHL, and you do it by scoring a goal. And the night before, your line mate Josh Petrantonio hits 300 points on your goal with the primary assist. I mean, that's a pretty darn good start to the season.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think, what was it, 2 years ago, me and him finished with 80-some points, and we had the exact same amount of goals and the exact same amount of assists. And then I think we were upstairs at the house, and he said something. He's like, I'm 3 away from 300. And I was like, I don't even know how many I got. And then he looks it up, and it was the exact same. So the plan was to try hit it together, but I guess me scoring the second one on Friday gave him his third of the night, and then I got to. It's nice. It would have been cool to do it together, but it was cool. We both got it.
It actually worked out really well for me to know one night and then the next night. So,
for sure.
So on the one night it was Petro, hey, 300. Next night it was you, hey, 300. You know.
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool.
You guys are like the Sedin twins.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of those points. I guess we've been in on them together. So, yeah, no, it's a pretty big milestone.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the old joke comes to mind: less Swedish, more Finnish. But you know,
yeah. And well, then you look at my milestones. Mine was penalty minutes. Like, oh yeah, hey, I had 457. Wait, where?
Teams don't get that anymore, Boom. Like it's crazy. And so that's when I started. I started in hockey pro in the late 90s. And that's kind of the way it was. It was finishing up. There were some guys that leaked into the early 2000s, would approach, if not exceed, 500 minutes in a year. Now, I don't know. What was the top team in this league last year? Maybe 300. And this is a league with a lot of fights. I don't even know if we hit 300 last year in the league. Anybody? I'll have to look. As a team.
As a team or a player?
I don't know if a team got over 300 penalty minutes last year.
Oh, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, I guarantee you we're close to 7 or 8.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as a team collectively, I would like to think we were probably close to 600 or 700 for sure.
And we were probably low compared to
some other guys. Like, I mean, I want to think just this past weekend, I mean, I think there's some teams with 150 or 200.
No, not on the weekend. Come on. I'm looking it up right now.
Look at teams. Look at standings and team stats. I guarantee you, there's some teams with 2 or.
Let's see here. They tell you PIMS. Oh, Mississippi has 158 penalty minutes already, and Danbury 156. I don't believe it. That's nuts. I didn't think they racked it up. I'm looking at last year now.
You know, Joe Pace's teams are usually disciplined and kind of don't take crazy penalties or anything like that.
No. So I mean, the Amesbury-led Danbury hat tricks last year, 1,627 minutes in penalties.
Yeah.
All right, I stand corrected in the FPHL.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We're old school. We're throwback.
We are.
We're throwback. Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun, though. I mean, let's face it. I think that sells.
I mean, I don't know if you look. I can't remember what my highest was, like 460 or 450, I think, or something like that. But I was always, like, I mean, I don't consider myself tough. I didn't think I was a tough guy. I was just played with high energy, and I was just always in people's faces. I mean, I was always the most. I had the most minors in pretty much the league all the time, and then you throw in a couple 10 minutes and whatever. But on average, I probably had 15 scraps, maybe 15 to 25 a year, depending on what it was. But I mean, I don't know.
So speaking of Birmingham, that's
when the legend started.
That's when Stay Out of My Yard came in 427 in 94-95. 427 minutes in PIMS.
Yeah.
You did have 421 with Columbus in 2000-2001.
Yeah. Well, the 421 in Birmingham, how many points did I have too? I think I had a really good year.
You had 48 points. 22 goals, 26 assists. The year before, 58 points. Just
imagine if I wasn't in the penalty box all the time. Maybe I would have scored. Anyways.
This is the year right here, Boomer, is in the coast with Birmingham. You had 24 and 41 for 65 points, 216 PIMS.
Yeah.
That is perfect for that era.
Yeah. No, that's average.
No, that's really good. That's not average. That's good.
Wow.
Come on, man. Give yourself some credit here.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
You were a player and you stuck around for a long time. People loved you. You were a good teammate.
Well, you know what? I'm not skilled.
You don't take compliments well.
Thank you. You know what? At the end of the day, I was good enough to score goals, but I mean, I wasn't a natural goal scorer.
Right.
You just go to the net and good things happen. And I had a good enough shot, but I mean, anyways.
Half clap.
Yeah, half clapper. But anyways, it's all good. But
where would you have been with a one-piece stick? That's my question.
Yeah, it would nowhere.
No,
it wouldn't have mattered. It's not the tool. It's the toolbox.
Nice. I like it. All right, let's take a break. We'll come right back with more here in just a moment. It's the Behind the Bench Coaches Show, and you are listening to it right here on 106.9 Really Rocks. All right, welcome back on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Tom Callahan here, along with our player guest this week, Austin Daae, and also River Dragons head coach Jerome Boom Boom Bechard. Want to remind everybody, single game seats are going on sale November 6th at 10 a.m. So remember that, 10 a.m. November 6th, single game seats. Until then, you can still get your full season tickets. Give us a call at the office if you want to talk to a human, 706-507-4625. 507-4625, or if you don't want any human contact, you can do the entire thing online through ourdragons.com. I'm a come down to the arena, look at the seats kind of person. Like I want to see what I'm going to see, and the ice is going in now, so you really see it.
I like paying cash. I like going. I don't like ordering stuff online. I want to go to the store, see what I'm actually getting. Instant gratification, get it. I don't like ordering stuff online.
That's fair.
And stuff. I like, hey.
Doze, you're going to pick out season tickets. Are you doing it online or are you coming down to the arena? He's torn.
I don't know. There's pros and cons.
Well, as far as season tickets goes, if I've already...
I was going to say most of the people would know already.
If I know where I'm at, then yes. But I mean, I want to see somebody in face to face, and I want to. Here's my credit card. Here's it. I don't like online stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to see I just want to sit in the seat. Is there anything in my way? I don't know. That's just me. I want to see the seats. But,
well, if you're in Baton Rouge, somebody's head's in the camera.
Yeah, I heard that happened more than a few times.
Jeez.
So, did you guys see the footage of the person we caught wiping out falling down the stairs?
No.
Oh yeah. So apparently, somebody had showed the clip to me.
You seem really excited about that.
Oh my goodness! The way that weekend went, it just something to amuse the fans was good. But yeah, no, this guy apparently got up with his beverage and just went right down in front of the camera. So maybe he was one of the heads that was in front of the camera. But yeah, that was so probably 3 more games of that coming up middle of next week. Will probably be some heads in front of cameras.
That's all right.
So they're new, they're figuring it out. So, but what was that like for you guys being down there? Just out of curiosity, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know they were doing lineup introductions. I didn't realize they did it, and all of a sudden we were just going in game 1.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they were as prepared as they should have or could have been, as far as lineups and stuff like that goes, or as far as, I mean, we didn't have to be out there. They should have, showcased their hockey team, introduced everybody on the blue line or whatever.
Right.
And I just think they were a little unprepared for it or whatever. So it is what it is. But, yeah, but the building itself is great. Ice, I think, was pretty...
Honestly, it was pretty good. Yeah. Someone said they hadn't really even skated on it yet, and usually it takes 3-4 floods with some hard skates on it to really kind of seal it up. And honestly, I would say even the first game was a better ice surface than anything we've played in Biloxi all of last year, probably. So
boards seem to be pretty bouncy, like not true. Is that? I don't know.
There were some weird bounces. Yeah. Yes, especially off the puck board.
And then the glass is glass.
It's got some pop.
And it's got like, I mean, you throw a puck off the glass, it's coming right back out at you. And then really, it's one of those buildings too. Like that glass doesn't really give. Like when you get crunched, like that really hurts. Like this kind of cement. Where ours,
more plasticky. It's got a little give to it.
Yeah, as much as we need a new board system in Columbus or whatever, which I think it's on. I think by next year we'll have it. As much as we need new ones, like. Gotta love those because man, it's like a springboard. You just it sounds like you just got murdered and
the old trampoline.
And really it's really nothing. But anyway, so
that I was kind of wondering because I did see a lot of snow building up towards the end of the period and stuff, and I thought a little bit of a bounce of the pucks, but I mean it was good from my standpoint. I thought it was great. There were fans there all 3 nights, and the crowds seemed to be into it. I mean, even though the result wasn't great for them. It's nice to see them getting the support early.
Yeah, you know what, and then again, I think they'll get stronger as far as fan goes. Their team, I thought, got better every game. Well, actually, they kind of probably started all 3 games. They started out kind of slow, and they seemed to work their way kind of back into things or whatever. And so it was good, and the crowds were good, and I mean, I think once football season goes, like, I mean, really, you got a Thursday, Friday, Saturday stint. You got Friday night football, high school, and then Saturdays LSU or college.
Right. Whether
you're an LSU fan or not, people are still watching college football. So really, all in all, I thought their crowds were pretty decent.
Yeah, absolutely. Doze, what was it like from your perspective?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Obviously, it's new, and lot of learning, but from them. But when there was a hit or a play, shot, save, they were watching, they were into it.
Their first goal, the 1,000 giveaway pucks was
oh my goodness.
was a little much, but
okay,
we shouldn't have let them score.
Okay.
I mean, we should. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
let's go back because I want to talk about this. First time the pucks get thrown on the ice, I get it. Okay, whatever. But there was no warning issued. The warning was issued after the second time the pucks went onto the ice, which means next time it happens, we're going to call a delay of game penalty, which is what they announced. But then when it happened a third time...
Well, you are in Louisiana.
There was no penalty.
You're in Louisiana. They do like to have a good time there.
We like to have a good time here.
They don't know a whole lot about hockey.
Oh, my goodness.
It's been it's been that long since there was, and I wouldn't imagine they know all the little nuances. So between... probably having a few beverages and, not really giving a crap.
I think someone threw a couple after it wasn't even during a goal.
Actually, that was me. I was trying to get them a penalty. I was trying to get them a penalty.
A couple on the bench, just throw them out there.
Well, actually, when they did start throwing them, I got hit a couple times, and I think whatever. So I could have actually had a couple on the bench to throw a couple more.
Save a few.
Yeah. Anyways,
I did see former River Dragon Cody Rogers out there shooting them back into the stands.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a smart thing to do or not. Probably not.
Because they're going to throw them back.
Well, throw them back, but I mean, God forbid somebody's not looking and you
conk somebody.
Yeah, probably not the smartest thing.
No.
Funny at the time, but yeah, probably not so much. We had a guy Cottonmouth East Coast League got ticked off, and he helicoptered his stick into the fans during a game. 15 games in our hometown, and like somebody was really happy they got a $100 stick out of it, but league not so much happy.
Yeah.
The
only time I've ever seen that happen during a game, not a practice, but during a game, was Brian Schoen did it in the old United Hockey League, and they banned him for life. Now, mind you, he was going to retire at the end of the year anyway, and it was fairly well known, but I guess the U-Haul just figured, all right, well, we'll just expedite your retirement, sir, for throwing your stick in the stands. And then he got out like a month early into his retirement plans. So,
were you guys any good?
We were, yes. They actually, well, they were fighting to stay in the playoffs at the time. And I think we were handing them another one of their losses, and he had just had it. He was also very feisty. He was very Ron Hextall-ish type of guy.
Was it goalie paddle?
Oh, it was. It was a goalie stick. So, yeah, that you don't see that a whole heck of a lot anymore.
No.
I mean, we got a couple guys in this league who are feisty goalies, but not as much as it used to be.
Well, throwing a goalie stick, that could really hurt somebody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not advocating anybody throw your goalie stick, but
let's not advocate anybody throwing anything.
No, but I'm just like, I'm thinking about the guys in this league, and like I know Trevor Babin, kind of gets into it a little bit, but I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a guy as easygoing as Brendan Colgan as far as a goaltender. I wonder if the guy's got a pulse half the time when he's in there, which is great because it means he's cool, calm, and collected. But I don't know. It's just interesting. I feel like the game has changed in a lot of ways.
It's changed tremendously, for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Austin Daae and head coach Bechard were chatting here. It is the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. And let's see. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's grab one more break. Then I want to talk a little bit about what's coming up here. Not only going back out on the road, but then also the home opener is not too far away, and we'll actually get to see a different team. So we'll talk about that when we come back in just a moment. Stay tuned. We're right back with more in just a moment. This is the River Dragons Behind the Bench Coaches Show on 106.9 Really Rocks. Welcome back on the Behind the Bench Coaches Show. Tom Callahan here, along with River Dragons head coach Jerome Bechard and Austin Daae joining us here. And for those who may have missed it, we were talking a little bit earlier with Dozer about hitting his 300th point in the FPHL. And so, I mean, Dozer, it is the 5th anniversary of this River Dragons hockey team now. You've been here a couple of years. And I mean, just what are your thoughts on the excitement of coming back into a new season here? And I know last year, you and I talked about it a little bit. I know the season was a disappointing end, not only personally, but also for the team. What was your approach to coming back for this season and your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, when it ends kind of the way it does, you you kind of have that in the back of your mind all summer, whether you guys are skating and training and whatnot. And, right now I plan on this one being my last. So coming into this year, I wanted to, I want to give it everything I got, empty the tank. And, I wanted to make sure I was prepared, for the start of the year and, be the best that I can be for, obviously the team and have a good year going out. So, and it's exciting to be back, obviously. This will be my 4th year here now, I guess. So didn't play the first year, but it's fun. You're playing with guys that you've been with for a few years, and some 2nd, 3rd year guys now that you've grinded with for a couple years, and we all got the same goal in mind at the end of the year, and is to win another championship. And I think just with everyone that we got coming back and some new veteran presence in the room and on the ice, I think it's been really good, and I think we're only just going to get stronger and stronger.
And you've had some jump to start the year. I mean, it looks like, honestly, like Boom and I were even talking about it a little bit earlier, but it feels like mid-season Austin Daae right now. How did you get to that point so early?
I don't know. I mean, I just, I kind of did what I usually do in the summer, and, just that little bit of extra work off the ice. I've always had good IQ and skill and whatnot, but my feet have always been sometimes my downfall, and just, doing all that extra stuff to prepare for the season, and obviously got to stay on top of it, now and throughout, and just gonna try to be the best that I can.
It probably also, I imagine being back in the line with Petro probably helps you out a little bit there, gives you a little boost. I mean, you guys, like you said, 2 years ago, like you had a twin season, and it was a very good season.
Yeah, we obviously been together for a while, and know where each other are on the ice, and read each other very well. And obviously, start of the year, no team's gonna, we had a really good start, but no, every team has its mistakes and getting the feel of everyone. But when you're with someone that you've played with for a few years, obviously there's that comfortability and just knowing some tendency. It's definitely going to go a long way at the start of the year when the game is a little bit more scrambly.
So Boom, when you're building this team, I mean, you brought in a couple newer vets. Justin McDonald is a new guy who obviously carries an impressive resume with him, 3-time champion, 3-time MVP, knows the game. But I mean, it's still new blood. You're still trying to assimilate guys. Plus, you have to have 6 rookies on the roster, so you do have to bring some new players in there on the younger end as well. How do you, as a coach, figure out the blend?
Well, I mean, obviously with J-Mac here, other than Petro and Dozer, I mean, during training camp, whatever training camp we had, we didn't really have much of one as far as exhibition games or whatever. But I mean, I think pretty much every day or every other day, I kind of switched kind of lines up, and I wanted everybody an opportunity to play with J-Mac and see somewhat chemistry and where guys were and all that stuff. And then really, I mean, at the end of the day, how I kind of got to solidify it, if you look at our lines, I got Jammer, Alex Jermayoff, J-Mac, and Wickline. And really, I think J-Mac, and I say this all the time, Jammer, Jermayoff, and Alex spent, I think, quite a bit of time in the gym. He's put on some weight, got a whole lot stronger. And I battled last year with Jammer saying, you know what, you're kind of slight, you're not the most physical guy, and this and that. And you know what, he ended up being the right choice to keep last year in the playoffs, and I think that motivated him to play a little bit different than what he was used to. And so if I look at the lines, how things are, I got J-Mac and Wicks, J-Mac smart, Jammer pretty smart, but plays a little bit more physical, or he has this year and even last year in the playoffs. And then Wicks isn't the most physical guy, but that line ain't somebody to go crash and bang. You look at Petro, Dozer, and Moorsey. I got Dozer over here, not the most physical guy, which is fine. Petro, a little bit more physical. I mean, and then you got Moorsey, where he's kind of the physical guy in the line. Go win some battles, go hard, and everybody's got to be hard on the forecheck. But some guys are going to finish more than others. And then you go to the other line. You got Storjahan, you got Andrioli, and you got Sequoia Swan is what the weekend was. I mean, you got Storj, pain in the, not the most physical guy, but kind of physical.
Can whack it with the best of them.
Whack it with the best of them. You're going to get slashed. You got Sequoia's going to finish his checks, and you got Andrioli is finishing checks. So right off the bat, every line's got somebody to finish as far as puck in the net and finish checks, which I thought last year we were fairly easy to play against. But we don't have one line that's going to be easy to play against. So that's kind of how everything kind of shook out as far as kind of line combinations. And obviously good chemistry this weekend in Baton Rouge from everybody. But things may change depending on what's going on. And then really moving forward, I mean, I still got a couple guys that I need to get in the lineup to see.
I did enjoy, I saw Andrioli throw the hit in front of their bench, and then all of a sudden the guy hit just disappeared over the wall. Then I see the skates up in the air. I'm like, that's always fun.
Well, and you know what? I mean, all week in training camp, I mean, challenge my guys to be physical and battle and this and that. But sure. I mean, scrimmaging, I kind of anticipated that's what I'd get out of him, but I mean, not really for sure. But yeah, he's a specimen.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He skates well, and is going to finish his check. And he's smart, and he's got good hands, and so he's got a little bit of everything.
It's a nice mix to have. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then one thing we talked about earlier today, and by the way, a reminder: the TV Coaches Show comes back Thursday night at 7 on CTN Channel 16 Christian Television Network. But when we talked about defense, looks different this year, a lot different.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, if right now we have a weakness, and I want to say weakness, it's not really a weakness, but I mean, it's my five guys that are kind of more forwards that are playing D. One, I love the fact they can all skate. They're all kind of gritty. They're kind of in your face. Nobody on the back end is going to step up and blow anybody up at the blue lines. And I say that Salatka did a couple times.
Oh, he will.
I mean, I guess not a big heavy guy kind of thing. But they're all capable of doing that.
Sure.
And
Kirky caught a couple guys.
He did too.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, so that's all good. They all skate well. I mean, my concern is, us trying to do too much at the wrong times in the offensive zone. And, again, I think we talked about it this morning or this afternoon, that, we're out there and when you're dominating in the offensive zone for a good minute and a half, we got to play a little bit of defense when we're dominating there. When I say that, like, we kind of lose track of where we are and what's going on, and we just dominated for a minute 30. I mean, I can't throw a backhand pass and hopefully it connects, and if it doesn't, it's coming back this way. And it did that a couple times. That's my biggest concern. And if that's my biggest concern, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. And all that is discipline, and us trying to not to use it. If we're up 4-0, guys, stop. Just stop. Don't need any more.
Right.
You play against a really good team, it's going to come back and bite you, type thing. So just kind of pick and choose a little bit more there, or whatever. I thought our power play was pretty good for the most part. Our penalty kill was good, and I think it'll get better even more so. But in our power play, I think we're 2 for 5, which is 40%, which is way better than what we were last year. But I mean, we had some really good looks, and again, it's a matter of, I want our guys to be able to create and do all that stuff. But I mean, we got to create. You got to take what they're going to give us. We have something set in mind already, and we're trying to do something that's not there. So just beat them at their own game. Hey, if you want to do this, we're going to do that, and we're going to execute it better than you guys, type thing. So kind of get to know what they're doing, and they're a pretty simple hockey team to play against when it comes down to it, as far as probably specialty teams go. So, let's not worry about what we want to do. Let's worry about what we have to do against those guys to execute.
Back in Baton Rouge a week from tomorrow night. Guys, thanks for joining me. We've reached the end of another radio show. I appreciate you being here to open the season.
You're more than welcome. Had a good time.
Absolutely. Dose, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we learned a lot tonight. So
yeah.
I appreciate it. And now you're off the hook for a while. So
yeah.
There you go. Doze loves talking to me. All right.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. All right, back to wrap things up in just a moment. This is the Behind the Bench Coaches Show, and you're listening to it right here on 106.9 Really Rocks. All right, we are back to wrap things up here at the end of another show and the end of the first show of the season, and we appreciate everybody for joining us. My thanks to head coach Jerome Bechard, and of course, River Dragons forward Austin Daae. Want to remind everybody that the home opener is coming up on November 17th. It's against the Mississippi Seawolves. Single game seats will go on sale November 6th at 10 a.m. Again, November 6th at 10 a.m. Until then, you can get your single game seats, or you can buy your season tickets, full season tickets, at no price increase over last year. Go to rdragons.com for more information. Or, of course, you can always give us a call, 706-507-4625. Couple things I want to mention. On November 4th, coming up here on the weekend at the Loft, 5 to 7 p.m., it's a Meet the River Dragons team party. It is all ages, and there is no cover, so come on down, 5 to 7 p.m. That's November 4th at the Loft. And then November 5th, season ticket holders, that is your pickup party day. That's going to be over at Golden Park. So keep that in mind. Mark that down in your calendar as well. Don't forget, we have our Chick-fil-A and Kissin' 99.3 Family 4-packs. That'll go on sale once single game seats are on sale. The first game for that is Black Friday, which is November 24th. And then we have on December 9th, the 5th anniversary celebration, and December 16th is Ugly Sweater and Teddy Bear Toss. Mark that all down on your calendar. We cannot wait to see you down for River Dragons hockey. But in the meantime, a week from tomorrow night, back to Baton Rouge for a 3-in-3. So this is Tom Callahan. Thanks for joining me, everybody. You've been listening to the Behind the Bench Coaches Show.